Hi Stampers, this is Dawn and today we're going to make this beautiful card, and this one is using the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer paper, and it's available now, but it will also be available in the new catalog. And we're doing some sponging, and the foil paper is resisting the ink. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it. And then I used the same layout as far as the colors and the strip, but I just turned it vertical, and I used the Highland Heather on this one. We're going to make the Costa Cabana one today, but let me show you two other colors. Okay, so here's one that I made with the Daffodil Delight cardstock as the base, and then the inks, I used the Daffodil, the Grapefruit Grove, the Calypso Coral, and then the Mango Melody. Isn't that one pretty? Okay, so then this one, I'm using the Grapefruit Grove as the base, but this time I used the Granny Apple Green, the Grapefruit Grove, and then I used the Pumpkin Pie, which is kind of hidden underneath this greeting here, and then the bottom is the Old Olive. So pretty and so easy. So let's go ahead and make the Costa Cabana version today. So let's get started. Okay, so we're using the Costa Cabana, and this piece is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then a piece of the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer paper. Remember, this is double-sided. So pretty. Even just like that, it's pretty. So this piece is cut at 2.5 by 5.5. And then a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 2 3/4 by 5.5. Okay. And then we're going to grab some scrap. We're going to stamp. And then we're going to grab our big shot. Let me grab some Memento ink. Okay, so this is the stamp set we're using. It's the So Sentimental. It's actually in a bundle with the Stitch So Sweetly dies right now in the mini catalog. And I believe these items are carrying over, but the bundle price will be expiring at I think it's June 2nd is the last day for the bundle price. But we're using these dies to cut out the greeting. And it's the greeting right here, Your Friendship is a Blessing. We're going to stamp that. Going to stamp it first, and then we're going to cut it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our die cut machine. Okay, so we're going to use these two rectangle scallop shapes right here, and we're going to use the smallest of the two and cut out the greeting. So here's another piece. We're going to go ahead and cut out the next size up with just the Whisper White piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the big shot. All right, now we're going to do some sponging. So here are the colors we're going to use today. Aren't these pretty? We're using the first color is going to be the Costa Cabana, then the Highland Heather, the Gorgeous Grape, and then the Bermuda Bay. Aren't those pretty? All right, so let's go ahead and open up our ink pads. All right, and then I got my sponges. Let me show you here. So what I do with the sponges is the sponges come in a circle, and I just cut them in quarters, and then I just take a punch, and this punch is retired, but I punched these a while ago. So you can punch a circle or a square or any shape, and then just staple the handle. So the idea is that when you're sponging, your fingers won't get all sponged up with the ink. And then it also tells you what color the sponge is. Okay? And then when you order the sponges, they come 3 to a pack. So you're actually getting like 12 wedges. And then you could even actually cut the quarters in half too if you wanted. So we're going to go start with the Costa Cabana color first. Okay, so Costa Cabana over here. We're going to go ahead and sponge about 1/4 of the designer paper. So we're going to sponge the Costa Cabana on first at the top. And then you'll take a napkin. Let me grab my napkin. So I just have a tissue, and you're just going to buff that foil just like that. So it's super easy. So Costa Cabana is done. Now we're going to do Highland Heather next. And again, we're just going to do a section of this strip. Okay. Then we're going to do Gorgeous Grape. And this color really is dark, but it doesn't come out as dark on the the designer paper, but I'm still going to ink up the sponge, and I'm going to ink off a little bit just to kind of take the darkness away from when I first start sponging onto this layer. But hopefully you can tell that there is a difference between the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape. And then the last color is the Bermuda Bay. And once again, this is a darker color, so I'm going to ink it up, but then I'm going to sponge off a little bit so it's not so dark when I come on to the designer paper. And then one color that I want to go over a little bit more is the Highland Heather. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so now we're going to take our layer here that we stamped. Remember, our friendship is a blessing, and we're going to do the sponging, but with only two of the colors. We're going to use the Costa Cabana and the Highland Heather. So first I'm going to sponge the one end with the Costa Cabana. Then we're going to take the Highland Heather and do that one next. And then Costa Cabana again. Just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and close up our ink pads. Okay, so I'm going to take my tissue. Again, I'm going to buff over top of that foil on that designer paper so the ink comes right off. Isn't that pretty? All right, so now let's go ahead and layer the friendship greeting onto this Whisper White layer right here, just like that. And then we'll also layer this piece of designer paper onto the Whisper White like that. Let me grab some snail. Okay, we're going to pop this up on dimensionals as well as this layer here. Okay, so we're going to take our Costa Cabana piece and we're going to layer this layer onto the front. Now you could make this go horizontal like this, like I did for this one here. Let me just leave this one out here. I'm going to turn it the opposite way, so I'm going to make it go vertical, just to show you two different ways that you can make this card. Okay, so there's on the vertical side of the card, and then we're just going to add "Your friendship is a blessing." And then you could also add some sequins, you could add some shimmer paint to kind of finish it off, but I seriously think that that's just beautiful, just the way it is with that gold foil. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I love it. So then here's the Highland Heather version. Now there is two pieces of designer paper in this pack of Ornate Garden Specialty Designer paper that's got the foil. So you can tell here, this is the different flower version to this daisy style here. And both pieces are in the same pack. So this is the Grapefruit Grove, and then this one is the Daffodil Delight. And this stamp set is also from that So Sentimental. Okay, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll have all the items listed down below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.